Regulatory conditions get tighter and tighter in the West. Some companies are now looking to Asia for growth, and one of them is the London Metal Exchange. The chief executive, Martin Abbott, joins us now from Singapore to discuss their plans. Martin Abbott, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Tell us about your plans.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here. We have been in Asia for many years, and we have a large presence on the exchange, a lot of liquidity coming from this region. What we've just done is we've just officially celebrated the launch of our Singapore office, which is our first ever overseas office. And that office is a signal of the fact that we are recognizing that the growth in Asia is not cyclical, it's structural, and more of the business that we transact is going to be derived from this region.
Some would say that's, quite long into all this that you've made up your mind about that. Do you think you're a bit late here?
No, I don't think we're a bit late. We have got trading systems around the globe, and our trading systems open at 1 a.m. London time. We already see a lot of liquidity from this area. We have a physical presence. We have warehouses in Singapore, in Malaysia, in South Korea, in Japan. We've been in the region for a long time. Our member companies are spread throughout the region. What we're doing is we're acknowledging the fact that this is a permanent trend, and we've opened an office so that we can just be more on the ground as an exchange.
So structural is the way you're looking at it now, as opposed to cyclical, as you just mentioned to me. Does that mean that we are, in essence, even though we have seen a slight fall in commodities prices, in the middle of what they're calling a super cycle?
Well, we're agnostic about price. We are here for price discovery. So price is up, price is down, that's not important to us. However, we are not agnostic to cyclical and structural trends. And I think when you look at what's happening here, the industrialization of not just China, this is not simply a China story, though obviously China is very much the dominant part of it. But when you look at what's happening throughout Asia, I think that we're looking at a long-term story of infrastructure build, industrial build, and GDP growth. So yes, definitely a structural story.
Martin Abbott, as well, what about, what we have seen in the West? We've seen, of course, new regulatory changes taking place. Is that having any, one of the reasons why you're also perhaps looking to Asia now too?
No, actually it's not. We believe that we're appropriately regulated. We're very tightly regulated by the FSA. Our own rule book is extremely comprehensive. One of the things that we would point out is that there's never been any aspect of the financial crisis that was created by or driven by what's happened in commodity markets. And the simple fact is that you don't escape regulation by opening an office in another region. Regulation will follow you around the world. We think we have a good, well-regulated product, and we think that it will continue to be relevant around the globe.
Would you be listing around the globe? I mean, you're not listed at the moment. Do you have any plans to list, like Rishaad, the Mercantile Exchange?
No, we don't have any plans to list. We operate as a private company. We're demutualized, but we're a private company. Our shareholders are very happy with the fact that the exchange is a place on which they do business. They look at us as a place where they can create value. They don't look at us as a source of shareholder value in itself.
Do you think it would compromise yourself if you were listed?
It puts one into an entirely different world. All of a sudden, your users become a separate class of person. Your allegiance is with your shareholders. Right now, we're in a very happy place in that our shareholders are also our users, and we're all working for a common interest, which is to have an efficient exchange where they can get business transacted. We can take care of the broader business picture, and we're all going in the same direction.
All right, your expansion, it doesn't just stop in Singapore. Do you have plans elsewhere then?
Right now, we don't have plans for any more offices. As I said, we are, by nature of our business, we are a global business. Well over 95% of our business derives outside of the UK. We've had a large proportion of our business originating in Asia for a long time. But we've opened this office because we think Singapore provides us with an excellent hub to cover the whole of the Asia region. I don't see the need for another office in the near future.
Very quickly also, Martin, just having a look, you said to me earlier that it's not just about China. Where else are you seeing the real hot spots in the region?
There's no question about the fact that the growth in Indonesia, in Vietnam, in Malaysia, you know, everywhere we look in this region, we see growth. It's really interesting because if you saw the kind of growth that we see in the Asian countries anywhere else in the world, you'd be really impressed. When you see it in Asia, it tends to be overshadowed because all of the numbers are so impressive. There are very few non-exciting economies in Asia.
Martin Abbott, thank you so much for your time. That is the London Metal Exchange LME's chief executive there, talking to us about the prospects for not just, of course, these markets, but also about just the region itself as we see it sucking in commodities.